You sit down and open your document looking forward to a productive writing session. 5 minutes later, you're checking email and Instagram, and before you know it, 20 minutes have gone by and you haven't written a word. What happened? Here's the problem. You sat down to write, expecting your brain to be instantly ready. But that's kind of like starting up your car on a cold winter day and then instantly flooring it. Your engine isn't warmed up for that yet, and it's probably going to struggle to perform. Your brain acts the same way. So in this video, I want to show you a super simple 5-minute smart brain warm-up you can do to make sure your writing period will be productive. The big thing that helps to know is this: the brain doesn't switch into writing mode just because you sat down and opened a document. I wish it was that easy. But it stays in whatever mode you were in a few minutes ago. So if you were in email mode, or scrolling mode, or racing around the house mode, part of your brain is still there, even when you're technically supposed to be writing. It's just like that cold car on a winter morning. When you go out to start it, it's still in the sitting in the garage mode, not the speeding down the highway mode. So if you turn the key and then slam your foot on the gas, the engine is going to sputter and strain instead of smoothly taking off, in most cars anyway. Your brain is similar. It needs a short warm-up to move whatever you were just doing into writing mode. If you try to go from 0 to full speed with no transition in the middle, it's going to feel slow and easily distracted. A simple 5-minute warm-up gives your brain a chance to catch up and then switch gears so that more of your attention will land on the page instead of staying stuck in whatever you were doing before. So let's actually warm up your brain on purpose. I've got a quick 5-step brain prep you can do in about 5 minutes before you write. So step number 1, when you first sit down to write, don't start by just checking something else. No email, no Instagram, no quick peek at comments. No, let me reply to this one thing first. Here's why you want to resist that temptation. When you look at your inbox or your Instagram feed, your brain starts spitting up questions. Did I answer that person? Or should I say yes to that thing? Why did they post that? Do I need to fix this right now? So even after you close the Instagram, a piece of your brain is still chewing on all of that. Researchers call this attentional residue, which is a fancy way of saying that part of your attention is still stuck on the last thing that you were doing. So if the first thing you do is open email or scroll, you're asking your brain to jump into problem solving and reaction mode. Then you turn around and say, okay, now we need to be calm, creative, and focused. And that jump is just too hard. It's like asking that cold car to go from parked in the garage to zooming down the highway in, 3 seconds. For this first step then, the rule is simple. When you sit down for your writing session, go straight into your 5-minute brain prep that we're talking about right here. No inbox, no social media, no quick checks. You're saving your brain from starting the session in a scattered place, so it has a chance to warm up in the direction you actually want it to go, which is to your story. Step 2, once you've skipped the email and the quick checks, the next thing to do is to tell your brain, we're doing something different now. The fastest way to do that is with your body. When you go straight from rushing around the house or staring at your phone to staring at your laptop, your body is still in the old mode. So your shoulders might be tight, your breathing might be shallow, and your brain is like, wait, are we hurrying or are we scrolling or what are we doing? So before you touch your document, stand up for a minute, roll your shoulders a few times, shake out your hands, take 3 slow breaths, get a nice tall glass of water, make yourself a cup of tea. All you need is about 30 to 60 seconds of something physical. You're not trying to become a Zen master here. You're just giving your brain a clear signal that says, okay, that other thing we were doing is done. And now we're going to shift into this new job. Now that your body knows that you've switched jobs, your brain needs something clear to grab onto. And if you don't give it a clear target, it will wander and flounder. So in the next step, we're going to tell the brain exactly what it needs to do. Now you may think, well, wait, it knows that I want to work on my story. But see, that's not good enough. Work on my story is too broad for the brain to get a hold of. It is going to wander all over the place, and it's not going to produce the way that you want it to. If you want the brain to turn to and start giving you words, you have to give it a more specific job. This is the weird little step that most writers don't end up trying it, but it can make a huge difference in your productivity. So before you start typing, don't write yet. Just close your eyes for about 30 seconds and watch what you're about to write like a tiny movie. Pick one small thing that you're going to work on. So for example, one conversation between characters, or one description of a character or setting, or one moment where your character makes an important choice. And then you're going to think about how it's going to unfold. Where are the characters? What are they doing? How are they standing? What are they wearing? What does the place smell like? What's the look on someone's face? You don't have to see it perfectly, but you want to give your brain a few minutes to sink into your world. And you want to do that before you make demands on it. Because when we start writing, we're making demands on the brain to produce and to create and all those complex things that writing is. It really helps if you can give yourself just 30 seconds to 60 seconds to close your eyes and imagine this next scene that you're going to write before you write it. Because this helps your brain sink into that other world and that flow state that we want to get into. If you're just staring at the cursor, I mean, that's very black and white, right? You've got words, you've got a blank page that's very like analytical, and it's using the analytical left side of your brain. But your creativity comes from the right side of your brain. And that's more focused on images and sensations. So if you can close your eyes a minute and focus on the images and sensations that are going to be in this scene coming up that you want to write, then your brain's going to sink into that, and then the words are just going to flow from your fingers. It works so much better. After you've imagined the scene, then you want to open your eyes and write down whatever you saw. And it can be messy, that's fine. So it might just be, you write down kitchen table, dirty plates, sister won't look at her. That's enough. All you're doing here is giving your brain a target. Instead of I should be writing, your brain now has something to aim at. This table, this food on the table, these plates on the table, these characters having an argument. And your brain turns that into words so that when you start actually writing in the next step, you're not starting from zero. Okay. Step number 4. Now you've given your brain a job and a few notes. This is where you start moving the engine. Before you worry about any real writing, set a 1-minute timer and do a quick messy sprint about that moment you just saw in your mind. A few simple rules here. Keep your fingers moving until the timer goes off. Write about that one little moment you just envisioned. So the kitchen, the argument, the dishes, the sisters, whatever you picked. No fixing, no backspacing, no editing. If a sentence is bad, just leave it and keep going. So it might look like this. She's at the kitchen table. There are plates everywhere. She keeps poking the fork at nothing. Her sister's pretending to text, but she's not actually reading anything. You're just sprinting. You're just writing. And this sprint is not for it to be perfect. It's just to get your brain talking. And after 60 minutes of this messy, low-pressure writing, your brain has already switched from thinking about writing to actually sending words to the page. And that makes it a lot easier to slide into your real writing session, which is next. So now your brain's finally moving, which is huge. But there's one more piece that decides whether you keep going or stall out again. In this last step, we're going to lock in where your focus goes next, so you don't lose momentum once the warm-up is over. So the last step, now your brain is warm and it's pointed in the right direction. The last step is about not breaking that momentum. Once you move from your messy sprint into your real writing, decide that your first 10 minutes are off limits for everything else. So that means no quick checks of email or text, no fixing old pages in your book, no jumping back to reread the whole chapter. For these first 10 minutes, your only job is to keep going from where your warm-up left off. You're basically saying to your brain, we're on the highway now, and we're not taking any exits yet. And if you get the urge to stop and tweak or wander off to something else, just tell yourself, I can do that after the 10 minutes are up. For now, I'm just staying here. Those first 10 minutes are where most people lose their momentum. Okay, that's why we're doing this. Because if you protect that first 10 minutes, something really cool happens. Your brain will settle in and the words will start to come a little easier. And by the time that timer goes off, you're usually far enough into your story that it feels more natural to keep going than to stop. And we all love how this works, right? We all love how when we finally reach that place where the writing is flowing, that's when we really hit the flow state. That's when we lose track of time. That's when we get a lot of words on the page. But we got to take these 5 steps to get there. And this last one is critical because it's saying, you know what? I'm sticking with this now for 10 minutes. I'm not letting myself go somewhere else, because your brain is going to try to pull you somewhere else because it knows that writing is a complex activity and it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of effort. And the brain would rather, not expend a bunch of effort on something maybe it thinks it's not going to get an immediate reward for. And we've talked about rewarding it in another video, but the key here is to just stay with it for that 10 minutes because that will allow the brain to get into that flow state, which usually takes a little bit of time to get into. We have to sink into the world of our story. One of the writers I admire used to call this diving down, like a whale. You're diving down into the deep depths of the ocean, and that takes time to get from the surface, where you're thinking about everyday life, all the way down into the deep parts of the ocean, where there's nothing around you and you're just focused on that story. And that's a wonderful place to be, but it does take time to get there. So just give yourself that time and you're more likely to enter that state. So your mission of the week, if you choose to accept it, test this out, not in your head, but actually run the 5-minute Smart Brain warm-up and see what happens. Even if you only have 20 or 30 minutes to write, do this warm-up because I think it'll be worth it. And after you finish your writing session that day, ask yourself, did I start faster than usual? Did my brain feel a little bit more there with me or present? Did I get more words down? If it helps, you can even write 5-minute brain prep on a sticky note and stick it to your laptop so that you remember to give this a try. If you want more help actually doing this kind of stuff and not just hearing about it, come join us in my brand new Writer's Brain Studio. It's my new space for writers who want to write more, write faster, and feel less at war with their own brains. And I'm really excited about the group that's forming there. The link for that is below. And if you're thinking, okay, but I'm still having trouble finishing my book, be sure to check out my brand new award-winning book, Escape the Writer's Web. It'll help you figure out just what is causing your particular delay and how to fix it. And if you feel like sticking around, check out the next video on the end screen, where we'll talk about how to keep writing even when you basically have zero free time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.